Everyone on Not a Straight Line Live, this is your Act 1 beginner's call. Beginners to the stage, please. Act 1 beginners.
Well, that was a fun day yesterday, dear listener, and I now have experience of a recall edition for a commercial. And they had to do pretty much exactly what I had to do the day before, though this time there was a room full of people. I think the client was there and the director was there and various other people. I just had to pretend to be on the back of a moped, had a helmet on, and pretend to take in the sights and smells of Croatia. So, yeah. Anyway, I've been heavily penciled for it, which supposedly means that I've got a very good chance of getting it. So I shall keep you posted. It'll be a week in Lisbon, Portugal, when I get it. So, yeah, that'll be something to look forward to. Due to fly out next Thursday, so they're going to have to make a decision pretty quick. But the main thing I wanted to ramble chat about today was just really on the back of what I said yesterday about how my gift of transmutation is, how I intend for it to show up in the world. And I was reminded of, one of the great things about having a podcast where you have guests on in conversation with you, like I do on the Wednesday episodes of Not a Straight Line, is that you get people on occasionally who are even better askers of questions than you are. And one of those people was Morgan Burns, whose episode dropped a couple of weeks ago, I think, 2 Wednesdays ago. And this is one of the questions that she asked in the episode. She said, if everything goes perfectly, what is the one thing that you have to accomplish that if you accomplish it, then nothing else matters? And if you don't accomplish it, then nothing else matters. And she went on to say that usually she has to repeat that question 8 or 9 times with a new client. She works with CEOs, people like that. And she said she only asks it, obviously, because the type of question it is, at the appropriate time when there's the space there for it. But she says that's usually a pretty telling question. And it is a telling question, and I actually had to ask her to repeat the question again a little bit later on in the conversation, just to make sure that I had absolutely got it. And the same question is both sides of the same coin. What is the one thing that you have to accomplish, that if you accomplish it, then nothing else matters? You accomplish this one thing, nothing else matters. And if you don't accomplish it, then nothing else matters. It kind of alludes to The One Thing, that wonderful book. I can't remember the guy's, the author's name, but yeah, that's well worth a read. And this is another way of, I think, expressing the same idea, the same concept. And a little bit later on in the conversation, I attempted to answer it, and it is a reflection also, I think, on what I said yesterday in my episode here. So I thought I would share my answer and hopefully give you some inspiration, not necessarily in my answer, but inspiration to answer the question for yourself. So remember, what is the one thing that when you achieve it, nothing else matters, and if you don't achieve it, then nothing else matters? And during my conversation with Morgan, I said, so for me, the one thing is that for as many people as possible who are on the hamster wheel of a business that they're employed in, or a business that they've started themselves that isn't giving them what they want from an artistic perspective. So they had artistic desires as a child, they were dancing or painting or acting, or they were expressing their creativity in some way like that. If that isn't as big a part of your life as you want it to be now, whether or not it's getting paid to do it, my one thing is helping as many people like that get off the hamster wheel and live the creative life which they dreamt of when they were a child. And Morgan then asked me what the world would look like when that was accomplished. And I replied with, it looks far more empathetic than it does now. It's far more peaceful. Humans are more engaged and connected with each other. Life has more meaning and people feel more fulfilled. Even if they didn't have creative desire as a child, the fact that so much more art is in their lives, they feel more fulfilled in what they're doing. So that was my first attempt to answer the question that Morgan posed during our conversation for Not a Straight Line. It obviously didn't just come off the top of my head. These are thoughts and ideas and feelings that have been with me for a long time, and they've been evolving and crystallizing the more I've expressed them through coaching with Izzy, the more I've expressed them through conversation on Not a Straight Line, the more I've expressed them through going through the program with Jason, the more I've expressed them through these ramble talks on the daily episodes of Not a Straight Line, just becoming clearer and clearer. And really, because of the two sides of that coin, that when you accomplish it, nothing else matters, and if you don't accomplish it, nothing else matters, then it really, and here's a word you don't hear very often on a podcast, behooves you, dear listener, to do the, is it hard work? I don't know. It's definitely important work to figure out your answer to that question. What is the one thing that when you accomplish it, nothing else matters? And if you don't accomplish it, nothing else matters. Let that bounce around inside your head and your life over the next days, weeks, months, and let me know what you come up with. I love you. Have an awesome weekend, and I shall speak to you tomorrow. Bye.